Twitter.
Yeah, maybe.
Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke. You can watch.
Hey friends, welcome to our. I assume this is just a Cats cast. I know you haven't seen Cats, but I assume this is still just a Cats cast tonight.
You know what I did? I saw Cats. It was a film.
You did?
No, I didn't. I was gonna make up a bunch of stuff, and then I realized I also had to type a tweet to say that the stream was live, and I realized.
Okay, yeah.
I have this problem where I can't lie and type at the same time, which I realize is a weird problem for a marketer to have, but there you go.
Well, one of your fingers always tells the truth, and one of them always lies.
Right, and then I chopped off the lying finger was the problem.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Pokemon stream activate. Twitch.tv/pixel Crimes Live. Great. Good. All right, we're here. We're doing it. It's happening.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm glad to get back to this game.
Yeah. What are we doing in this one?
Well, unfortunately, the pictures down below do not really help.
God damn it, they super don't, do they?
So we've got the teapot friend, we've got a super spy that used to be a goth boy. We've got whatever Farnsworth turned into.
Yeah. We have
Who the fuck knows what Black Parade is?
Right. We have the sword guy, and then we have Prower?
Prower, yes.
Let's see if any of that is right.
It might not be.
Okay.
No, not all of it.
No, we're good on Papa Roach.
Okay.
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth looks different than I remember him.
We have this Eevee.
An Eevee, right. We were gonna Sylveon today.
We have, we're gonna Sylveon, right. So we need to go keep
I forgot about that.
We need to keep winning battles with Eevee in the party.
Right, okay.
Eevee has the Soothe Bell, that's why we're here.
Right. And then we've got Gritty the Viking Man.
Yeah, Gritty the Berserker, and Crumpet, the counterfeit teapot.
Who I really love. I feel like I haven't made it clear how much I love Crumpet.
I'm deeply excited about Crumpet, and I'm very excited for us to have a Sylveon.
We're kind of at the part of the game where I kind of love all of our friends, and a lot of the deaths are going to start hurting a lot.
Oh, they're going to get so much worse.
Yeah.
I should open up the document of, like, where we've been and where we've caught things.
Sure, yeah. And we should go over the rules once more people show up, but I think it's us and Io right now, so we're probably good.
What's up, Io?
Hi, Io. Welcome.
When did I press that? I didn't need to. Oh, I'm on simple controls, right. I gotta... Hey, Emily.
Hello.
It is hard to watch this in MGS3 at the same time, but...
oh, yeah, we're counter-programming HEDQ, right?
Yeah, but there's no choice, right? Like, anytime... We could take the week off, or we could counter-program HEDQ.
It's true, it is a whole week, and I love HEDQ, but we have a lot less Nazis than they do, which is... none instead of one.
Yeah, we have 0 Nazis, and they apparently let one slip through the net. So, oopsie doopsie.
Yep.
What was I doing here? Oh, right. Casual controls off.
Yeah, the pronouns thing is sweet.
They did start putting pronouns next to usernames, which is awesome.
What is this about Nazis? They did a 8-hour Final Fantasy VIII stream. I think it was a relay.
Yes.
And one of the people in it was, if you look at their Twitter profile, they're very obviously a huge misogynist, bigot, piece of shit, alt-right, Gamergate person. So that was not fun to see. I mean, I'm not going to boycott HGDQ or anything, but, you know, I wanted to bring it to their attention so that they don't make that mistake again.
So we definitely caught things on Route 6 and in Glimwood Tangle.
Yes, we did.
Gotta add those. Route 6, Glimwood Tangle. Save.
Okay. 530 channel points, only 470 to tell some owls.
No! We gotta get something for the people to
something else up there, something for me,
to spend on you to make you do something goofy. But you're gonna have to.
We'll do that. We'll do that for sure.
Yeah, you sound really committed to it.
It'll happen.
You've never sounded more committed to anything in your entire life.
No, it'll definitely happen. Yeah. Look, I wouldn't say it's going to happen eventually if I didn't think it was at some point going to happen.
Yeah. Let's go try to get Sylveon going here. How about that?
Sounds good.
Let's see if we can make Sylveon. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, how are our friends? We haven't seen you in either a week or in some cases a couple of weeks.
Oh, I don't have that TM. I should try to go get it. I wonder what's up there.
I really do. I love the part of real Britain that is just a lot of glowing mushrooms. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, haven't you ever been to, like, what is it called? Like, Glowsbury by the Bay? Something like that.
You know, this isn't... I kind of want to play along with your goof, but I also, like, I remembered when I found out that both Sherwood Forest and the 100 Acre Wood are, like, actual places you can go.
Now, okay, Sherwood Forest I knew about, but the 100 Acre Wood? Expound.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, A.A. Milne was a real person who, like, based all those stories on his, like, childhood toys. So there is actually, like, a legitimate place in Britain called the 100 Acre Wood.
Oh, that's wild and wonderful.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
I love it. Go get him, Papa Roach. Let's cut this guy into pieces.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Actually.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Christopher Robin was real, yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised with Emily coming in with the Pokemon, the Winnie the Pooh facts.
I mean, it may have been Emily who told me this stuff years ago.
That sounds very possible.
But I was also, like, my dad read me all those Winnie the Pooh books as a kid over and over, too, so it could have been that.
Yeah, I was big into those as a kid, too, but I never got the real life connect. Never learned
Sure, yeah. They're really good. I feel I haven't read them in a while, but I did read them in college again and was surprised at just how sharp they are.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Oh, my strength.
No.
I'm sure this is gonna matter.
Speaking of, have you heard the other big sort of kid book news recently?
Wait, there's other kid book news?
Yeah, there is. So for the first time since like 1999, we're getting a new Wayside School book.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Some more Sideways stories or whatever?
Some more Sideways stories. We're getting a third book of Sideways stories.
Holy crap. Okay, hang on. This thing is doing me a jerkitude. I gotta get my grid on.
Yeah, let's grid it up. I don't know if you were as big a fan of those as me, but I read those over and over.
I have a vivid... Oh, Gritty's so low level. Hang on. This might not have been a good call. I have a vivid
Well, he's
memory.
sleepy now.
Let's not. Let's be safe.
Okay.
I was big into those. I have a vivid memory of, like, where I was standing when I... where I was standing in my elementary school holding one of them in my hand. Like, that's just a snapshot I have. How about that RWA drama news? I don't know this.
I know a little about this. Do you know anything about this?
I know nothing about this.
There's a big scandal in the Romance Writers of America Guild.
Just learned what that stands for. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like, maybe the Doctor's Hugs can expound. I feel like I read, like, John Scalzi wrote an explainer thread about it a few days back, and I read that, but I'm still sort of not up on, like, what's actually going on. And I know more shit happened today.
Oy.
But, yeah, it's, as far as I can tell, just powerful shitbags who want to sort of, like, ruin the lives of other people.
That's unfortunately fairly standard these days.
It is.
And in previous days, all the days, it's pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
Since power existed. Oy. A writer said some bad things about a racist's work. Okay, yup.
Right, yeah.
And some powerful people have come together to defend the racist and gang up on the writer, I assume, because that's how... There it is!
Yep.
That's awful, by the way. In case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, it's pretty damn bad.
There's
I would
more.
argue. Yeah, it keeps going. Yeah.
Oh no, I hate it when
Yeah.
it never stops there, does it?
I mean, no, never does. Also, like, I don't know about you. So last New Year's Day was I was gonna say a year ago. Feels like a year ago.
Yeah.
New Year's Day was a week ago, right?
Sure.
Like, that was our last stream.
Yeah, that was a whole week ago. That's crazy.
I was, like, pretty confident about this year, like, on New Year's Day, right? Like,
I was feeling
good. The last week has been some bullshit, Eric.
Yeah. It's not been great.
Like, I definitely had, like, multiple, like, daily meltdowns about war this week.
That's been a tough one.
Yeah.
The war thing has been tough.
It's been bad.
And apparently somebody has more sense than our president, because it doesn't seem like we're going to super war right now, but we still might. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the news today was definitely heartening, right? It seems like we're all backing down, but
yeah,
like, I don't know. Last night I was just pretty convinced that, like, you know, Iran saying, like, if you strike back, we're just going to destroy Dubai was a lot.
That was pretty huge. Yeah. That is, you know, a thing that many of us here, I myself am very lucky to be able to do. I can just stick my head in the sand.
We kind of know that, like, if we do go to war, we're unlikely to take the brunt of what happens.
Oh, this
we
is
might
what I was
take
saying.
some of what happens, but not all of it, right?
I said almost exactly this on Friday to a friend of mine at F&M. We were talking about it. He's a student. And I was like, well, you know, if we go to war, we're not going to die. A lot of Iranians are going to die. And some, you know, some of our military is going to die, but we're not going to die. Like, we are not who we need to be worried about here. And so that...
I mean, I think it's valid for people to be a little bit worried because,
sure.
You know, terror attacks is a possibility, nuclear weapons is a possibility. Like, I don't, like, I sort of push back a little on some of that because I think that people's anxiety about it is valid.
Oh,
but
the anxiety
it is, yeah. It is also, like, unlikely that people in our positions will be taking the brunt of it.
For me...
And it's important to focus on that.
For me, like, having grown up with 9/11 being a thing, I just assume terrorism is a possibility all the time.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah.
So, for me, that didn't feel any different, but I'm sure for other people it does, and I should be more mindful of that. That's a good point.
I mean, it's important to, like, be respectful of people without, like, centering yourself in things. I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. But that's what we have Pokemon for, to, like, try and think about happy things.
We do have Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, living in a big tech center. Yup, on the coast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely feel a little bit safer in Denver because it's a little bit further away, but also, like, you know, we've got the U.S. Air Force Academy and Cheyenne Mountain are, you know, 100 miles away, so...
Nobody's bombing me.
In St. Louis? I mean, it's unlikely.
It's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
The world is a bummer.
Also, it's like, I'm trying to think about, like, the places most likely to be hit, and I have, like, people I love very, very much in all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Folks.
Yep, alright.
You raised a good point.
Fair, that's...
The Haunted is named Papa Roach.
Yeah,
everybody
that's a good
loves
point.
Pokemon.
Yeah, so let's move on to Pokemon.
Pokemon's the best.
Eric, what would you say is your favorite Pokemon in the party right now?
I would
if you had to choose a favorite child, and you do have to choose a favorite child.
It's Papa Roach. And let me tell you
It's the Papa. Okay.
Because this Pokemon is here to fuck some people up. It's not here to take prisoners. It's not here to take damage really very often or ever. It's here to deal damage, and I love it.
Now, in your head canon, is there like a ghost we can't see wielding the sword and shield, or is the sword and shield just alive?
I think the sword and shield is the ghost, and the reason I think that is because there's an eye in the sword.
Okay.
I have sort of a level of, like, vague Pokemon-related empirical evidence for this.
Brokemon, Wokemon.
Brokemon. I'm very into Brokemon, Wokemon. That's very good.
Yeah, and don't worry, Melissa, you can, like, we were just sort of bumming ourselves out about Iran, so...
Oh, we were spiraling.
We'll get back to it later, so it's probably better to, like... We'll just talk about, yeah,
We were spiraling
Bespokemon.
pretty hard. Bespokemon's very good. Oh, I have no idea how long 5 seconds is, apparently.
That was good, and no, it's never too early to start owling.
It's never too early for owl sounds.
As far as I can tell, like, everybody in chat can probably do that about once a week or once every 2 weeks.
That's terrifying.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi, Coral. I hope she has...
Oh, nice. Awesome dinner place sounds good.
I hope she has a good time at dinner, the revenge of lunch.
Can we talk... Is it too early to talk about food? Because I went to an amazing restaurant this week.
It's a whole outlet stream. Yeah, hit us with food.
You have 2K owls saved up. Yes. 2024 owl stream.
See, this is
Plus,
just
by
an
2024,
incentive.
I'll have redemptions. Maybe.
This is just an incentive for you to get your friends in here so that you can force me to do owl noises for 3 hours.
Yes. And I think you can buy these with cash to really fuck Eric
Can
up.
you? God, I hope so.
Didn't we learn at one point that you could spend like $60 to like make you owl the whole for 3 hours?
No, you're thinking of bits, but we can do we can do donation. Like if people donate money, I can do other I don't know.
I do think we should do a charity week at some point.
We should definitely. Yeah, I remember we were talking about charity week at one point. We should absolutely do charity week. Patreon tier. Oh, Megan, you're so smart.
We can put Owl Stream on the 3 Wishes tier.
Who is this on Discord with me?
Hey, that's me.
Oh, I don't know what move I just used.
Oh, okay.
Which is good.
I mean, was it a stance change? Oh, you went to the aggressive stance.
I always do that whenever I attack. The only time I'll ever not go to the aggressive stance is if I do King's Shield.
Right, that makes sense.
Got him. There we go. Come on.
What was it? Oh, the food I was going to tell you about.
The food.
So, we went to a Himalayan restaurant.
Ooh. I don't know
it was like
anything about Himalayan food.
It's called Sherpa House, and it was all done up like as if you're going to a tea house in like near Mount Everest.
Okay.
And the food is like very similar to Indian food. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of Indian curries, but also a lot of like kind of different curries. Ooh. One thing we got was one of the appetizers we got was like think about like the filling inside of a vegetable samosa, but inside like a Chinese soup dumpling wrapper.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then you can get yak meat in whatever.
Yak
so if you want to eat a yak, you can yak it a yak.
That yak meat does not talk back.
It was pretty good.
Do they have those big? Do they have the pink salt lamps? Because I know
they. Have I told that story on stream?
I don't think you've told that story on. Have you told that story on stream? It all starts to.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll tell it again if this is very quick.
Am I gonna get
so we got a Himalayan salt lamp for Christmas one year. And I didn't know what it was. I assumed it was some sort of quartz. So when a hurricane came, I wanted to fill a bathtub full of water in case the water went out for a few days and I needed something to like fill a toilet or like drink or whatever. So I didn't have a plug for a bathtub in North Carolina, So what I did is I put down like one of those like silicone like things that you put on top of a pot to like keep it from boiling.
Oh yeah.
And then in order to weigh it down, I put the Himalayan salt lamp, which I thought again was just a very heavy rock.
Yeah.
So, you know, we left and came back after the hurricane, and it's like, all right, time to like pick the rock out and empty the tub. The rock was gone. The rock was gone.
Oh,
it
no.
wasn't there anymore. Instead, it was gone. And what happened was that the salt melted into the water
No.
and became salt water.
How could that possibly have happened, etc.?
Yep. So, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have a good bus, Dreadite.
Yeah.
That's, no, I feel like I've done things on that order. There's no way I haven't.
Yep.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Did you
We
drink
did have
it?
Himalayan salt water, salt from the Himalayas. What is this, like... I'm sorry, melon monkey we're fighting?
This is Passimian, and I think it's psychic, and I don't know. It's...
Okay.
I think they've transitioned into sort of a phase where they're just like putting hats on animals. They're like, this is a Pokemon
Sure.
now. Because
Yeah.
that's kind of how you make new Pokemon at this stage, right? You just put a
Well,
hat
then they
on
have the Pokemon that is just a hat that we fought earlier.
Right, we literally fought Haterne a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like, what if we put hat on animal, and now we get more Pokemon?
Sure. I mean, you can... I don't know if you play Pokemon Go, but it is mostly Pikachus in different hats at this point.
Yeah, I keep getting Pikachus in different hats to the point where I've just been like, what if... So, I got so annoyed with all the Pikachus in different hats that I can't, like, chew up into candy, that I was like, what if I stopped managing this pile of Pokemon that I have altogether? And then gradually that became, well, okay, now I don't have to worry about this pile of Pokemon. What if I just stop playing this game? And
Sure.
that's where I'm at right now. Is that not playing the game has added time back to my life that I used to do other things, and I'm happy with that.
And then you'll play it again right about 2 days into the next time you visit me.
That's exactly it. That's the plan.
Okay. And then you'll play it for about another month and a half after that and give up again.
Yeah.
I think that's how most people play Pokemon Go.
That's
It's
my
like-
sort of plan.
Whatever, it depends. Well, you think it rules because you're in proximity to me still. And as long as you are, you kind of have to play Pokemon Go. It's just how it works.
If I were in proximity to you on a day-by-day basis, I would play so much Pokemon Go. It would be,
you would.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I have there's very few people in St. Louis that play it that I see, ever.
Right, yeah.
So it's just like...
Yeah, Melissa, it's like toxoplasmosis, but for Pokemon Go.
Is that the cat sickness?
That's the cat sickness, which I also pass along.
Right. And can you get that from the cat movie?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Because, so, I watched the cat movie.
Yes.
I watched the cats. I watched the cats this week. I watched the cats this week.
Yeah.
And
that
so here's the thing about...
any psychological damage to you at all.
Well, here's the thing about cats. Like, the first scene comes along, and it's horrifying, and you're like, oh no, I don't know if I can deal with it.
Right.
And by the end of the Cats movie, I was like, this movie rules. And I love it, and I want to watch it again.
Oh, man. Well...
Because it's so nuts, Eric. It's so... I cannot fully describe what it is, other than you have to see it.
Now, you saw what I imagine must have been the patched version.
I did see the patched version, yeah.
And it was still a delightful horror-scape worth seeing.
Oh, I mean... Yes, I love it. Like, I can't even, like... I'm not sure it's bad, but it's definitely, like, part bad, but it's also kind of good. It's just so campy and wonderful. like, it just brought me a lot of joy that I can't really, like, rank it on any other movie axis because it's so wild.
That's crazy. I've never done shrooms, but I can imagine that would be a terrible experience.
I would not do shrooms for cats.
I would
oh
not
my God.
do shrooms for... I don't think... I think end of sentence. I think I wouldn't do shrooms.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any problem with people doing it as long as they stay safe, but I don't think I would do it.
Emma had a hard enough time being sober. I was just sort of like sitting next to her with my feet up, cackling and just smiling because whatever kept happening on the screen, none of it was the thing that I thought would happen.
Right.
Like I don't know if you know about cats, but like,
I mean,
it's weird. Like,
I've seen...
at a certain point in the movie. Mm-hmm. The plot just stops because a railway cat named Shimbleshanks has to sing a song about a train.
Yes, that's very much the spirit of the stage production as I remember it as well.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Although I sort of have a dual memory... Okay, this is sort of wild. I have kind of a dual memory. These two memories are sort of overlaid on each other. Of seeing the show Cats... like the play Cats in a theater in Boston, and seeing, and I don't know how to couch this, so I'm just gonna say it, the Russian cat circus in a theater in the Boston area, and those two memories fused together in my brain.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Into just a horrible, tangled mess.
Horror show, yeah.
And that was around the time that I was discovering I was allergic to cats, was when I saw the cat circus.
So very complicated, yeah.
So I think, the oxygen deprivation may have been sort of part of that issue.
That makes sense. Well, luckily the movie does not have any real cats.
But do you think I'll develop some sort of weird allergy to Jason Derulo?
Maybe. I mean, I will say that people did walk out of the movie during Sir Ian McKellen's big number. That may do it to you.
Sorry. Hang on. I didn't know Sir Ian McKellen was in this film. Is that real?
Yep. I mean, check and verify?
I don't want to be allergic to him or to Idris Elba.
Well, Idris Elba is amazing in this movie.
I mean, of course he is.
Yeah. Idris Elba is playing Satan.
Mr. Mistopheles?
No. That's a different cat.
That's a different...
no.
There's this cat that's just Satan.
Kind of.
What's its name?
Its name is McCavity.
McCavity, thank you. McCavity.
And he teleports around going and pawing at the air.
He's the one that will only leave after Rao, right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
And he very clearly knows like how campy this movie is and is just he's at 11 the entire film. Everyone is kind of at 11 for the entire film is the thing.
It's so sad that we've arrived at the roaring 20s and that we've lost Tumblr. That Tumblr has found a way.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like how
it's not fair.
It's unfair and untimely. Is it? Wait, it's still operational.
It's still operational,
but it's a ghost. I'm sure it's a ghost of its.
It is a ghost.
Self.
Yeah.
I just I don't know a lot about Tumblr. Didn't before, don't now. But I assume everyone left after the porn left.
I mean, 95% of them did.
It's the dig of its time.
Yeah.
I'm reading right now a book about Uber, which is called Super Pumped. By the I can't remember the name, but the person who was writing about them for a long time for the New York Times. And they in one of the people they talk about in that was the CEO of Stumble Upon. And I was like, wow, here I am on the goddamn treadmill thinking about Stumble Upon in the year 2019. And then I realized, wait, it's the year 2020.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Is the book similar to, like, the dollop about Uber?
It's very similar to that dollop so far, but it's a lot more detailed, obviously. Because
right, yeah, I figured it would be like the Michael Lewis-ish version of that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I bet. It sounds interesting.
I definitely... Of the 2 books... So, I'm like a third of the way through it. Of the 2 books that I've interacted with this year, it's the one that I'm happy to recommend so far.
Okay. Does it get into the sexual assault stuff, or is it more just about the, like, economic shell game?
I don't know. I'm not far enough in yet for that. They talk a lot early on about the sexism in Silicon Valley and the sexism in Uber specific. They touch on it. They touch on how the New York office has, like, a sexist bro culture, and how the Paris office was advertising, like, free rides with hot babes or something.
Ugh.
And so, it's clearly being seeded. I just haven't gotten to the sort of...
Right, I'm sure they bring it up.
Yeah, it's gotta come up.
Yeah. Did they talk about the jam pad?
Yes, I've gotten... they did talk about the CEO's jam pad, which apparently was just, like, a really shitty... Like, he has no sense of decor. So it was just kind of like
surprised.
An unfurnished unfurnished penthouse for them to play Wii tennis in.
I'm picturing essentially the house or the apartment that the Fire Festival guy had.
Yeah. It's a very, very Billy McFarlane, type of thing. Except, this guy, like, ran 2 file-sharing companies before running Uber. Oh,
whoops.
Jesus. Yeah, Red Swoosh.
Oh, the world is bad.
Red Swoosh and the other one that I can't remember the name of. But it's fantastic so far. Again, only a third of the way through, but so far I recommend. Super pumped. Which is just a very...
Yeah, sounds really interesting. I'll give it a shot.
It's a wonderful, ironic title. I read and didn't like... over the course of 4 days, The Witch Elm by Tana French. Tana French?
What's that one about?
So I'm doing, like, alternating fiction, non-fiction, and so this was fiction. And it was apparently this author has a series of, like, mystery novels or crime novels or something, but I haven't read any of those. I was recommended this by I can't remember who anymore. But it's about this, like, very privileged guy who lives in Dublin, who is, like, he has a horrible, like, physical accident. Well, not accident, but he's attacked, and that takes away his good looks and some of his mental faculties, and then they kind of the book kind of spins its wheels for a while, and then it becomes a mystery novel. It's weird.
Interesting.
So, the main character, the narrator is an asshole, and, like, obviously he's supposed to be an asshole because he's, his portrayal is a, critique of how people with privilege use their privilege for personal gain rather than to help others, and that's, a good message, but it's, like...
hard to spend time in his head, I imagine.
It's really hard to spend time in his head. It was a very, like, frustrating read, and, like, I felt like the lesson was well illustrated in the first 40% of the book, and then they kind of tacked a murder mystery onto it, and I was like, all right, I don't totally get the point.
That doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound great.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not portraying the book in a positive light because I didn't like it very much.
Sure. Now, I would rather read this book that Io linked in the chat, which is called Not Pounded by the Romance Wranglers of America, because their new leadership is from the depths of the endless cosmic void.
Wow! I can't believe Chuck Tingle wrote a book that starts with Not Pounded by.
This is probably his least sexy book.
I mean, I'm sure he finds a way. He's Chuck Tingle.
Yeah, he might. Yeah.
Either that or it's just a straight-up scathing critique of these bad people.
It could be. I mean, it is Chuck Tingle. Like, and he is a hero.
It could be literally anything, and he's amazing.
Yep.